Today we will talk about punching techniques in boxing, fundamentals of biomechanics, geometry of a punch, where to start if you're a beginner boxer, how to train your punching technique to punch. We'll look at the technique of punches in boxing, and the technique of punches in boxing is based on biomechanics. What is biomechanics? Bio means living. This is our physiology. These are our muscles. This is very important. As strong as we are, that's how confident we are. Mechanics is a branch of physics. A branch of physics that is based on geometry. So let's figure it out. A person has three axes of rotation. The first axis of rotation is our hands. When my coach taught me, he even told me that when the hand rotates, the elbow rotates, this is already the energy for the punch. Most likely, in boxing, you won't get hit like that. You won't see this movement at all. Most likely, they will simply bring their hand to you and make twisted punch, just like this. This is what the axis of rotation is. So the first axis of rotation is your hands. The second axis of rotation is our hips. The strongest human muscles are concentrated here, due to the fact that we walk with our feet. Here, as Bruce Lee said, lies all the power of a man. And the third axis of rotation is our legs. Wherever there is rotation, this is energy for punch. That is, the first axis of rotation is the shoulders, joints, arms. The second axis of rotation is the hips, and the third axis of rotation is the legs. Three physical forces that act in punch. The first force is what we push or push out. Simply by lifting the foot, our body moves from one leg to the other. Here, the axis. Perfect. The second force is that we twist. Twist in the hip. Twist in the shoulder. Twist in the foot. Twist in the hand. Here it is. And we twist it. It's simple. We pushed and twisted. The third moment, the third physical force, is the tilt of the body to punch. When the body is tilted, that is, you see, the body can bend. There are very strong muscles on the back. Body tilt. The tilt of the body is done after the rotation, or, let's say, at the moment of rotation, you are already tilting the body. That is, each stage is intensified. The push is enhanced by rotation. The rotation is enhanced by tilting. Thus, we get three physical forces on one line. Now regarding geometry. What is geometry? Last time we explained that the position of stance in boxing, that is, the direction of the feet, show the line. Flexion is the acceleration line along which we move. Therefore, there is a nuance here. To understand, here we have two lines going off, and here they connect at this point. That is, everything as in the triangle. Point A, point B, and the point of punch is point C. That is, we move, transfer the weight of the body, accelerate it. The second moment, we are twisting. And the third, we are tilting to this point. That is, a physical phenomenon. The punch falls, and this is the moment we get. We must strive for this point. Not this, but precisely this point. That is, we move and put our hand down here. Do you see? It's exactly on this side that it falls. Moreover, if you punch with this hand, the same thing happens. We do everything from a triangle point of view. Let's see how it looks on the back. That is, when the leg lifts, we are already shifting the mass. Here it is very important not to fall over. Not to fall over from the point of view so that your knee does not go away. It shouldn't be bent too much, and it also shouldn't be straight. That is, there is a little bit of curvature. This is necessary from the point of view of the spring effect. Therefore, if we, for example, are standing at close range and we can't swing, there is no way, there is no distance for swinging. Then we just put our hand and just lifting our leg, moving our body weight, we punch. In different ways. It's possible from the side, it's possible from below. There is a very short punch distance. At medium distance, there is also a nuance here. At mid distance, we cannot accelerate our body weight. It won't work. It's just that if we move the body weight from one axis to another, then most likely we will simply end up in this elbow position. I will explain why the elbow should be straight. That is, allowing for a slight curvature of the elbow in the training process, especially when punching. This is due to physiology because the joints, bones, muscles are not trained yet. As they say, gentle. And strong punches will immediately be reflected in your joints. Will go to the spinal cord and to the brain, which will be a concussion. Therefore, when you are learning, when you punch, not much curvature is allowed. But in the original, and from the point of view of biomechanics, you should have a straight line. If your elbow is bent, then most likely in this place, the energy of the punch will simply break. That is, it will simply go to the side. That is, you will simply fail. Therefore, the moment of tension, without transferring the body, but due to rotation, you can punch. This is how it happens, only due to one rotation. These are types of punch. For every punch, for example, for a straight punch, we have 21 modifications. There is a short punch, a medium punch, a long punch, and a lot of other angles, a lot of options, ways out of defensive actions, well, just a lot. We are now looking specifically at what biomechanics and geometry are. And at a long distance, here is the entire amplitude of your strength. And this is the strongest punch. When you accelerate your body weight, when you are already doing all the necessary twists, that is, with your shoulder and leg and hip. A direct punch at a distance, at a long distance, is considered the strongest. If you also add a step to it, that is, you will also step. So, you stepped, twisted and tilted your body towards the punch. Like this. Each of these parts is working. That is, in a fight, you will most likely punch like this. That is, you won't have ideal biomechanics, and in general, this is very rare. And most likely, the biomechanics works already when they finish off the boxer, when you, let's say, turn him off a little bit, not yet completely, and now you are already exit, your vision is no longer the same, your concentration is not the same, that is, your opponent is practically defeated. He will no longer notice your action in the overall picture. By and large, he already has a little bit left. Then yes, you deviated, swung there and, as they say, with a high probability that you will take advantage of it. A boxer needs biomechanics only so that he understands with what forces he generally punch, with what forces he acts on his opponent. That is, the ideal situation to punch an opponent and for the biomechanics to work, nothing like that. In fight, you already act in relation to the situation in which you find yourself. Now regarding the biomechanics of a side punch, a very interesting thing. Here, if with a direct punch we push out and rotate, our rotation, let's say, is minimal. I will explain. If in the first case, we punch by triangle system at point C, that is, it is already charged. Then we also do a side punch on the same line. Very often boys twist the punch. They punch it somewhere, that is, they swing and lead straight and fall over. This is simply a fatal mistake. Here is the moment. You must stop on the line of this foot. That is, this is exactly how your line goes, so that you don't do any twists. Because the further you go, then you will have to return everything. But here you only reach this line once. Then go to this line and to this line. Everything is very simple. The biomechanics of a side punch. Look again. It's done in a kind of circle. That is, our legs. You kind of spin the body. This is the first. There is also a transfer of body weight here. If you look at it from the front, you turn from here to here. Like this. 1. To the line of this leg. 1. To the line of this leg. Here it is. Maximum strength. Like this, this, this. It doesn't matter. The biomechanics of a side punch is spinning. Very strong spinning. Also the tilt. You help with the tilt. 1. 1. As you want. The biomechanics of the punch from below also changes somewhat. For example, due to the position of your body, the position of your hips and legs. When you do it right away, without a swing, here's a straight punch, a side punch, and from below. You do it right away. When you maneuver, you go down a little and squeeze out the force in your legs. That is, you actually push forward. Moreover, if you look from the point of view of geometry, your straight line actually goes from your leg, through your knee, and like that. It's simple. The biomechanics of the punch from below can push the punch out using the legs. 1. You can push it out using the body. 2. You can push it out by transferring your body weight. You can do this all together. It can be done in circular approaches. All this is the basics of biomechanics. Now some advice for beginners. It is very important in boxing to have a competent coach, because when it comes to punching, this concerns boxing. Boxing is viewed from a single punch perspective, and therefore your coach should explain to you from a training perspective how to properly progress from stance to punch. Each element of the punch is pumped, from the first part, the second part, and the third part. Each element is placed separately and entirely together. This is such a metamorphosis. If you want to punch right away, nothing will happen. If you have recently been training in boxing, all these axial rotations of yours will all look like a mess. You need to clearly understand what axial rotations are and how the line of punch is placed on them. Therefore, there are a lot of complexes that, from the point of view of preparing for a punch, are like on a pneumatic bag. That is, you start punching the pneumatic bag and you can do it quickly. Then you have to punch it slowly. The same thing works with a bag, with pause, and so on and so on. Do everything slowly, painstakingly, and thoughtfully. So, beginners, don't rush to make a punch. The punch is placed from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the toes, and from the tips of the toes to the tips of the fingers, through the whole body, in order to be accurate. And accuracy is a determining factor of strength. You need to practice. In one go, I am afraid that you won't even understand what we are talking about. You'll just break all your hands, and that's it. You begin to understand what biomechanics is after about 6 months of training. The definition of biomechanics is already exact knowledge when you have it. In boxing, there is I think and there is I know. I think it's you who train, you study. I know this is when you act. You can't think in the ring. In the ring, you need to know. Therefore, the principle of biomechanics and working with biomechanics in boxing is, well, it's not something simple. It's already aerobatics, if you understand that.